everyone. My name is Conchetta.
I'm Constance.
And we are
C&C Style Me.
And this week is really special for the holidays, and we have with us
Cousin Rachel.
And Cousin Elaine.
Woo woo.
And we're from Laine's Bakeshop.
All right.
And running the family, they know how to do it.
And so, because they love to bake perfect baked treats for the holiday, we had to ask them to bring a special little treat for us in this video. So, Rachel, tell us what we're going to be making.
Today we are making Grandma's Buttermilk Biscuits.
Oh, Lord, I can't wait till they get And the number one rule is to not bake in jewelry, so I'm going to have to take all of this stuff off, even though I look fabulous in it. Yeah, we're going to have to remove all the rings and earrings. But ladies, don't worry. After we're done, we're going to bling it back out for you. Just hand it on down in the single file line. You know, Grandma don't play. No jewelry in the kitchen.
Don't know where your hands been.
You can keep your necklace on. We ain't gonna drop that. We all right, y'all?
Yeah.
We good? Okay. I'll take these here.
Go.
All right. So I just want to know, how did you all come up with the name Laine's Bakeshop?
So Laine's is actually a family name. I am Rachel Elaine, and I'm Laine number 3. My mom is Elaine, and she's Laine number 2. And then my grandfather, he is Laine, and he's Laine number 1 in our story. So cool.
Oh my goodness. So
cool.
Laine's Bakeshop is really filled with lanes.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you guys even get started with an entire bake shop? Now, I remember her making these dinner rolls every Thanksgiving, and her mom making all these peach cobblers and pies and cakes. But
And she
now,
was a teenager then.
Yeah. So now it has turned into a business, like a legit full-grown business where you got like major companies and corporations
And
ordering from you.
property.
So how did it start, girl?
So the bake shop, like Chetta said, I've been baking for my entire life. And my mom actually homeschooled me, and she taught me to make my fractions with a brownie recipe. So that was the first time that I remember enjoying math, and I realized, if math can be, this is useful. I can use it to make things that people like to eat, and I can use it to make money because I can sell those things. So that connection started really early. And so then we fast forward a couple years. I went to college and had a career in accounting. And I was using baking as my stress relief. And I would bake things, I'd bring them to work, and people kept saying, if you can do this, why are you here? I kept brushing it off, but eventually I listened, and we got together with the family, and we held a pop-up event. And after that first pop-up event, someone came to us and they said, hey, Whole Foods is looking for vendors. We really think you should put your product in, try to get your product in the store. And I kind of rolled my eyes and I was like, I don't have any business trying to get my food in Whole Foods. What do I know about this? But I went for it, and so in this very kitchen, the night before we had our pitch meeting, I, to my mom's chagrin, made up 2 new recipes and then used one tried and true recipe. And then my dad came and we took them and had our pitch meeting with Whole Foods. And I hadn't slept the night before, and we were hoping for them to say, hey, this is what you can do to get in the store in the future. And instead they said, we love it, we think you're ready. This is how you can get started now. And that was when we said, hey, we might need to get it together. Learn to business.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I'm gonna let you do your thing and just start pouring some stuff in.
Like what we're doing.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
I'm not a baker, so that's totally skipped me.
Biscuits are easy, so I'm just gonna pour in our dry ingredients, and then I'm gonna pass this around so that you guys can do some stirring. So we're just mixing in some salt, some cream of tartar, some baking powder.
Okay.
And then you want to take a chance at whisking?
Yeah, I'll whisk it. So while I'm whisking, Mom, so how has it been working with your baby girl?
Put me all the way on the spot.
Yeah. Well, Rachel is, she's a visionary. And so when she takes a simple recipe, her creativity kicks in, and she begins to use spices that I'm not always familiar with, but she's also, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I think she's an educator at heart. Because when I have questions, and I have lots of questions, she explains to me the theory behind why she uses one ingredient over another. So I've learned a lot. I've learned to work long and hard,
Yes.
and to pay attention to detail most of the time. But it's been really good.
Wow.
Really
Now
good.
that's a good skill. Now mothers, that's hard to do because we're so used to directing and guiding and leading.
Yes.
So when they become adults and you work with them closely,
She's listening.
you turn into the listener. So we kind of have to let go of the reins a little bit and let them lead. So that's pretty good. I want to ask you something.
Oh, okay.
So what got you into baking with her though?
Yeah, we can add the next thing.
Well, when we were having our children, I chose to stay at home with them full time, and so I really spent a lot of time preparing meals, and I love bread. And so we would
bread
make
baking?
bread.
Yes.
And
So it's no coincidence we making bread today.
not at all. It's something that kids can get messy with. You know, little kids
So
like
true.
to be messy,
Yeah.
and it's hard to mess it up, especially once you've added all the ingredients to it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I had another question. For your business,
Yes.
did you choose the location? Where's your location?
So right now we're located in Morgan Park, and then we're actively working on a location that opens in Pullman in January, and another that will open in Woodlawn a little bit later on next year.
Wow, so you're gonna be all over the South Side.
That yes,
I
all
love
over the
that.
South Side.
South Side of Chicago. So, what advice would you give other young men and women that want to become entrepreneurs?
So my number one piece of advice is to learn what you don't know and surround yourself with people who know those things. And then actively learn, find resources that can help you, and learn your numbers. And I know it's easy for me to say coming from a numbers background, but it is the most critical thing you can do to empower yourself for a successful future in your business. And there are plenty of people out there that love coaching young entrepreneurs on that subject, myself included. So that is a great way to make sure you have a strong foundation.
Wow. I like that.
Wow. So I'm gonna be talking to you after because me and Mama got some questions.
Oh, let's talk.
Okay, and one more question that I wanted to know. Since you are located on the south side of Chicago, and I know our city gets a bad rep, is there anything that your company loves to give back to the communities that you're located in?
Yeah, so Laine's Bakeshop is actually a social enterprise, which means that we were formed to create an impact in a for-profit manner. And going back to the story of why we're called Laine's Bakeshop, my grandfather Laine, he always tells us stories about how growing up on the south side of Chicago, it was really this thriving epicenter of commerce and culture and businesses owned by the community and great education. And since that wasn't really the south side that I grew up with, I thought, well, maybe we can do something to kind of revitalize it and restore it to that vision. So our vision is to connect people through authentic, great food as a way to revitalize urban communities, starting with the south side of Chicago.
I love that. So you have young men and women that live in those communities actually working in the bakeshop.
Yeah, so we try to
Wow.
accomplish that mission in 3 ways. The first way, like Chetta said, is by being intentional about who we hire. We hire from the community, and we specifically hire groups that are chronically unemployed or underemployed, like reentering citizens. And then we source from people who have the same values as we do, and try to make sure that those companies, every dollar we spend is kind of building this ecosystem of other people who want to create an impact. And then that last piece is we find organizations who are doing great work in this area, and we funnel some of our money to them so that we can help to kind of catalyze this effect, and every dollar that comes into us helps us to accomplish our mission, and we in turn are helping to empower other people accomplish their missions on the south side.
Yes. Now this is working from the grassroots.
Yes.
From your mama's kitchen to your own kitchen. Now you in the city kitchen. And you're giving out to the community. We love it. So Rachel, I have one last thing to ask you. Is there anything else you would like to mention that we did not mention, but you want everyone to know? You got an upcoming event coming around, or?
Yes, so we are still accepting holiday orders for the Christmas holidays. We will have a pop-up later in December, and if you're interested in keeping up with what we're doing at Laine's Bakeshop, you can text Laines, which is Laines, to 66866, and you'll get an invitation to sign up for our newsletter. And you can also follow us at Laine's Bakeshop on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right.
Thank you so
This
much.
was so fun,
Nice.
y'all. So
Yes.
like
Is it time
they
to eat
do,
now?
they do on the cooking shows. We did this part already, but we
Yeah.
cheated a little bit. So we gonna bring the real biscuits on
And I
now.
didn't get my hands dirty.
Magic.
It's magic. I love it.
Ta-da!
Yes.
So we would like to thank our cousins for
Yes.
coming and
Thank you for
sharing.
having
Beautiful.
Beautiful ladies, and
Yes.
we had such a good time. So now we're gonna dig into these biscuits.
Oh, yes.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
We would like to thank Rachel and Elaine of Laine's Bakeshop for joining us this week. Please subscribe to C&C Style Me. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.